I got it yesterday though too, so we're I'm starting to remember now.
I know, it's so funny. Well, I just find that like I have so many things on my mind all at once sometimes that somebody could tell me something like a minute before and I'd go, what? Like, what did you say?
I
Um,
know. I'm
so
exactly
yeah,
the
that's
same.
all right. So
We got
hello
too many
everybody.
things. Got too many things on our brain.
Wow. I think women always have more on their brain. I don't know why, but I
I would
was
agree.
saying
I
to
don't know.
Lindsay, not only do I have one daughter that's sick, but my other one from the coast phoned last night and said, Mom, I think I have food poisoning. So I
Oh,
was just like, you guys are just chipping years off of my
yes,
life just
yes.
steadily here, but she's okay. She's fine today. So all good.
And I'm
Oh,
super excited for today.
forgot to turn my phone volume down. Sorry, what was that?
I'm super excited today. I finally get to interact with my mom and my stepdad, and the kids
Yes,
get
you're
to see them.
sick.
And
It's so
oh,
exciting. Yeah.
it's gonna be so nice to touch, so like give her a hug.
So just so everybody knows, they've all been self-isolating for 14 days and it's safe for them to get together. So
Yeah,
nobody's gone anywhere. They're safe. They're good to go. So
as safe as
before we
we
get the
can
hate
be,
mail.
anyways, right? Like we're still on our walks, touching buttons to cross the street and stuff. So I mean, there's only so much a person can do, though, right?
Just lick your finger and touch it, get it over with. Just do it. I said the other day, I'm like so tired of this. I just want to go into like down loops and start licking doorknobs and
Just
stuff. Just
forget it.
give it to me. Just get it
Yes,
over with, kind of thing.
I
But
know.
it's it's fine. You know, I've heard some kind of grumblings that things are going to start. You know, maybe some businesses are going to start opening and stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to wait until I actually see it before I get my happiness up, kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
of course, Carmen is watching. Hi,
Yes.
Carmen.
Yes.
Um,
We have
yeah.
Deanne.
So we had a beautiful like afternoon yesterday. It was so hot and sunny, and the birds were chirping, and we have hummingbirds. I can't believe the hummingbirds are back.
Oh, sweet.
So
I
I went
love
out there
watching
and
them.
Jeff, oh, mine were in such bad shape, my hummingbird feeders. So I said, okay, I want two new ones, one for the front, one for the back. And so he got me two. So as soon as I heard them zinging around, I went out there and filled them up. They haven't been here since. So
Oh,
I don't know, but we have, I don't know about you guys. Do you have a hummingbird feeder up usually?
no, I think it's too cold here for them, but
Oh, okay. So, but
maybe I'm wrong.
so the thing that's funny at our house, and I swear I wouldn't know if it was the same hummingbird because they all look alike, obviously, but we have this one male, little kind of brown, I think it's an Anna's or something hummingbird, sits like we have like kind of this garden basket hook thing that I hang the feeder on, and he sits at the top of it and guards it. He doesn't let any other hummingbirds near the feeder.
Really.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Like I'm just like,
Funny.
oh, you little, because as soon as a few come around, until it's mating time, and then he's like, okay, I'll
Oh,
let the girls around.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy. He just
Yeah.
fights them off, and he has like, if he sits at a certain spot, he can see the neighbor's hummingbird feeder and the other neighbors, and he will literally go zing over there and beat those guys up and zing. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Carmen
So
said that her dad feeds hummingbirds here, so I guess it's not too cold. I thought it was more
well,
of a DC
certain
thing,
ones
but
come back way sooner, right? So,
yeah.
yeah. Um,
Cool.
yeah, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. And then it's really funny when they get to, like to the mating stage, which is like I think a month from now or something. He'll let the girls into the feeder, and then he has to put on a big show to prove that he's like the ultimate male, right? So he does this funny thing, and he goes zing, and he goes way up, just like straight up, and he comes back down, and he goes zing by them and stuff. It's so funny,
So very
very
entertaining.
entertaining, very very entertaining. What do we have here? I see some people popping up.
Yeah, we have Deanne on.
Sandy. Oh, Carmen, you don't think I should lick doorknobs? I'm ready. I'm ready, man. Bring it on. I feel good now, so what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
Let's not actually go there. Don't lick doorknobs. Nobody.
Yeah.
Just a joke.
Yeah.
Erica's watching. Yvonne is watching. Hi, Dan. Haven't seen you in a few days. Hope all is well.
Yes.
So what are we talking about today?
Money, money, money.
Money. Who doesn't love money?
I know, right? And so when we get boatloads of it, what are we going to do?
Invest?
Invest it.
I have troubles with that because I'm like, yes, gonna buy an RSP. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna invest this.
No. Well,
Never.
you have a house. That's
yeah, we're good. I have RSPs and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
You always think, oh, I should put some more in there, and you don't.
I know.
Because you need something, or just life comes up sometimes and you just can't. So, but investing is a very important thing.
Even if it's just a little bit, start somewhere, right? And that's like, it doesn't take long before it starts building up, and you never know.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, I have this app on my phone because I don't know if you guys know, but I trade Forex. Probably do if you see my page because it's on there all the time. But anyways, I have this calculator that tells you if you start like with $100 and make 3% on it and compound it every day, like reinvest it, don't take it out or anything like that. After a year, it's like $450,000 or something.
Woo! Nice.
Can you imagine?
That would be sweet.
That's compounding 3%. But when it gets way up there, that 3% is big.
Oh, for sure.
It's scary.
It takes a while to get there, but once it gets going, it doesn't.
So you have to, like, if you start out with 100, the next day you have to make, so it would be $103, right? You'd have to make $3 on your 100, and then so. But you can imagine when it gets way up there. Yeah. So it's kind of scary if you're doing Forex because you can lose it up there too. So
yes.
But yeah. So go ahead. Let's get going here.
Okay. So where should you invest your money? So we're just going to kind of go over a couple of ways that you can put your money in and take it out later. So the first one is the stock market. And this is the most common and arguably the most beneficial place for an investor to put their money. When you buy a stock, you will own a small portion of a company. And when the company profits, they may pay you a portion of those profits in dividends. And so you can either get those dividends in your pocket or you can reinvest those dividends. It depends on how you want to set it up. So there's a couple of different things that you can do with that. And when the value of the company grows over time, so do the prices of the shares, and you can sell them at a later date. And the thing with the stock market is it's unpredictable.
It's very volatile, yes.
Right? And so if you look at today, it could be different next week. It's hard to know what it is.
And world events cause massive things to happen in the stock market. So like, for instance, say 6 weeks ago, your stocks were like, hey, we're doing awesome. They might be, circling the drain right now because of everything that's happened. I mean, it's quite possible. I think things will go back up, but
yes.
Yeah.
Now, and the thing with the stock market too is you don't really want to invest money you can't lose. This could be money that you're willing to part with in the event that something happens and you can't, and you lose it all. I mean, essentially you could lose it all, right? It's playing the market. So
they come in different risk categories too, though.
Yes, for sure. So, there are different risk categories.
You want to make quick, fast money, then you potentially could lose quick, fast money. If you go with something that's a little bit, of a lower risk, then it takes more time to get the benefit. But,
Yeah. And if right now might be a good time, if you have some extra cash, to invest, because this, depending on what you're going to invest your money in, but it could be a good time because if the share is low and if you buy it now, in a couple of years when things recover, you could make some good money.
Well, look at the oil. Look at oil prices, what's happened in the last couple of days, right? They've actually, yesterday, I think at one point, it went down to minus $37 a barrel.
A negative.
So Of course, with me doing Forex, I get alerts on things to buy. So I was alerted yesterday to buy a barrel of oil at 8 cents.
Whew,
So
I can't. That's amazing.
oil is never going away. I mean, it's always going to be there. So like if you had a little bit of extra money where you could invest in it and just put it aside for a year or two, I think you'd actually do really well. I am not a professional, neither is Lindsay.
No.
I'm just kind of saying what I see. You definitely would have to talk to a
Yes.
professional about it. But like for instance, oil is going to go back up. So
Yeah.
if you had some extra money, you might, consider something like that. So
And also, if you lost money recently, you might want to consider just leaving it where it is and not taking it out, because you don't want to. You might want to try and recover from the losses, but again, that's a decision that you have to look at over time and find out what you're comfortable with.
yeah, you kind of almost have to sit on, if you have a loss going on, you almost have to sit on it until it turns around rather than take the loss, or take the loss, which sometimes you're not able to recover from it. So
Yes.
yeah, definitely. So like stock market or Forex, like there's foreign exchange never goes away. Like we're always, setting prices of what the Canadian dollar is to the American dollar and whatnot. So that is another market that you can invest in. So
Yeah.
definitely. Okay, so anything else about that one?
No, I think we're covered there. So do you want to touch on number 2?
Okay, so investment bonds. When you purchase a bond, you're essentially loaning money to either a company or the government. And in brackets, it says, for U.S. investors, this is typically the U.S. government, though you can buy foreign bonds as well. So the government or company selling you the bond will then pay you interest on the loan over the duration of the bond's life cycle. So I guess you're like a bank, you're loaning the company money, right? And they're giving it back to you with interest. Bonds are typically considered less risky than stocks. However, their potential for returns is much lower as well. So like we were saying, if you want really quick results, you risk losing just as much as you risk winning. But when you're doing typically like bonds, it's a less risky. So it's going to take more time and probably have a smaller return, but it would probably be a really safe thing to do. Right?
Yeah, and the one thing about bonds, I don't think they're as popular as what they once were. I know that they used to be very popular, and I really don't even know anybody that's doing it right now. But the thing about bonds is when you give them the money, you have to keep it there for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Quite often it's longer periods of time. So it's longer
you have to put it in and leave it like you.
Yeah, you can't touch it. So it's a longer period of time with lower interest.
I can remember, I think my great aunt or something gave my brother and I a savings bond when we were young. And it was like, I want to say it was like $25 or something like that. And it had to sit for, I don't know, 10 years or something like that.
Yeah, it was a long time.
I think it was like $100 when we got it.
It used to be the huge thing to do.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people did it. But yeah, I don't hear about it being so I mean, it's possible still, but it's not as popular.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely a lower risk. You can get money back on it. It's a lower risk, but you need to have the investment time and patience with it. So
yes.
Okay, the next one is mutual funds. So rather than buying a single stock, mutual funds enable you to buy a basket of stocks in one purchase. The stocks in a mutual fund are typically chosen and managed by a mutual fund manager. So that's what most of us do, right? Is like when we have our RSPs are usually in mutual funds or something where you have a bunch of different kind of entities in there. So here's the kicker. These mutual fund managers charge a percentage-based fee when you invest in their mutual fund. Most of the time, this fee makes it difficult for investors to beat the market when they invest in mutual funds. Also, most mutual fund investors don't actually ever beat the stock market.
Yeah. Lately, I haven't been a huge fan of these.
Yeah.
But it's just because you're not getting all your money back. You seem to be paying more.
You know, honestly, the thing with this too is that the mutual fund, like your banker or your investment advisor, is the one that makes the money. Like truly, every time they go, okay, you have this thing, we're gonna sell that, and we're gonna buy this because I think it's gonna be better. They get paid in between. They get a chunk of this and a chunk of that. So, you know,
Yeah.
you really need to pick a good advisor for it.
And
So.
they, like, I was talking to my dad about this a little while ago, and he said that these used to be really, really good when they were probably in the 90s, late 90s,
Yeah.
because the market was doing well. But when the market, since like 2008, I want to say, when everything started crashing and stuff, these just have never recovered the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you have them in there,
we've had a tough 10, 15, even 20 years, really. You know, we constantly are paying more for everything that we need. Cost more, gas is more, not right now, but yeah, not that we can go anywhere right now. But yeah, like you definitely have to do your homework. You either have to put all your trust in whoever your financial advisor is, or you actually need to educate yourself on it so that you actually have a say in kind of what happens. So
yes, and with somebody that's managing all of your funds, they will charge you too. So you better hope they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you want to
they're making their money.
money.
Yeah, they definitely do. Yeah.
So there's another way to invest your money, and that's in a savings account. And again, this one is not so great. Low risk. Don't get me wrong, it's very low risk, but you're not going to see a lot of returns. Banks don't give their money away anymore at all.
Yes.
I'm finding that you're seeing less and less from them.
Well, honestly, unless you have a huge amount in a savings account, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, I find like a savings account for me is just useless because I end up paying more fees than I do in any kind of interest. So,
oh yeah. Yeah, it's very, very low interest and probably one of the worst ways to invest your money.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there and it's not collecting enough for you to retire on, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. What about I heard of the like, isn't there one that's like high?
A savings? A
Yeah.
high risk savings?
Well, no, it's like higher interest rate for you.
Oh.
Isn't there one like that now? But it's got stipulations in it. So
Oh, probably would.
maybe it's tax-free. I can't remember. This is like totally not my area of, you know.
Well, there could be a high interest one. I don't know about that.
I think there's stipulations with how much you can put in it or whatever.
There might be. Or even withdrawals. Or you might have, or the withdrawals on it. Like there's some stipulations on that too, that if you have
exactly.
you can't take out
like
so much.
You get a little bit more interest, but there's many challenges with it. So
yeah.
So okay, so that's savings account.
Yeah. And then there's also physical commodities. I am a fan of this one. My grandpa taught me about them a little while, like before he passed away. He had said, if there's anything that's ever going to happen, you want to make sure that you have some silver or gold tucked away under your bed.
Yes. My parents actually were in silver forever. They always had silver.
And my grandpa also said, make sure you don't get it from the banks because they track it. They have tracking numbers on them and they record it to whoever's taking it out. Where I got some of my silver from is I used to do silversmithing for jewelry.
Yes.
And so when you go and get your jewels, they'll sell like the silver and the gold and you can buy bars of it. Like it's not huge, but you can buy little bars and they don't track those ones. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's those prices of like gold's outrageously expensive, right? So silver is the next best one, but it is pretty pricey.
There's lots of people that pan gold in Kamloops and actually do pretty well at it. So I'm like,
that might be something to get into.
Yeah, it's good to be out in the outdoors and panning gold. So yeah, definitely. And that's another thing too, that in Forex you trade in silver and gold too, but it is all tracked. Like it's all on just on the full market, right?
That's the thing. You don't want it to be tracked because then you can't sneak off with it.
You never actually have anything on the stock market in your hands anyways. It's all paper.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah,
is.
you can have your, I don't know, remember years ago there was the commercials on TV that, put all your junk gold in an envelope and send it off and we'll send you cash.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Leave it. Well, they never give you as much as gold is worth anyways.
Oh no, they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that would be jewelry too. Like not jewelry, but the stones, right? They'll worth, you can trade those if, currency actually leaves and, you need something to barter with. That would be something that you could use too.
Maybe we'll get back to that. Maybe it's going to be, sticks and stones and bartering your gold jewelry for.
And your services, right?
What's that?
And your services. Trading services for each other. We need to get back
in the day, because we watched this show and it's called Expedition Unknown or something like that. It's a guy that goes around and talks about. Hold on, I got to talk to my dog. Get up on the couch. Up on the couch. Get up on the couch.
Sorry, I don't mean to be laughing.
He's talking. He's singing the song of his people.
Oh.
Anyways, they used to have coins, and because they didn't have all different coins, they'd actually take a chunk off a coin to pay.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get back to that, people. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, yeah, that would be like my stick of silver. I'm not going to give somebody a big chunk of that. I want to cut that.
Griffin.
Yeah, and then you did say tax-free savings account too. So that one's good. You're only allowed a certain amount that the government has allotted to put money in there, but you don't have to claim any capital gains on it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The downside, you can't claim any capital losses either.
Yes, exactly.
So there is a catch, and you just want to be careful with that one, right?
Yeah.
And so you don't want to go over.
What's that?
And you don't want to go over your allotted amount because you'll be dinged on that big time.
Yeah. So something too, like if you have extra money that you want to invest, you can always invest in yourself too. You can look at, getting into some kind of business like we have, we do online businesses. So there's always that too, where you have more control over kind of where your money's going, but the potential is there. Unless you work the business, it's not going to do well for you. So
you can't just sit back and let it do its thing. You have to work.
Yeah, no, you have to actually, to work at it. So there is that too.
Yes.
There's always an online business or investing in somebody's business, even if it's a brick and mortar or something like that. Like there is that potential, but like I say, it's not guaranteed. You have to actually, oh, Griffin, you had to come on the show, did you? Yes.
He wants to say hi to everybody.
Oh,
and the other one too is real estate.
Yes, always.
Invest in real estate. Usually that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
You just need to watch that if you're in an economy like it is right now and you have renters in your place, you have to be prepared that if they don't make their payments, how are you going to cover those
costs? How are you going to make the payments?
And honestly, that's in any economy. Some renters just get in there and don't pay and cause you a lot of headaches. So just make sure that you have a backup plan to cover the costs if it falls through.
Well, and that's what people are going through right now, like the lack of money to pay their rent. Some places are giving, a subsidy for that. But, the people that own the building that maybe you have an apartment in, they still have to pay their mortgage.
And what if you don't get a renter?
Yeah.
And it just sits empty for a while. You need to be prepared for that. But it is a good investment. Land is always going to be around, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So usually prices keep going up with land. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, I think we're going to see like kind of a flood of properties come on the market just because people may not recover from this. So it's a sad reality, but they may have to give up their houses and stuff like that. And so it might even be a good time to invest in real estate. I hate the thought of, somebody losing something like that to gain for you, but that is the reality that it potentially looks like that could happen in certain places and whatnot. So so keep your eyes peeled. There might be some really good deals out there.
Yeah. definitely.
Unfortunate for some, but
Yes.
yeah.
So
So
yeah,
that's
that was
good. So
yeah, the only
anything?
other one was just RSPs, but it's kind of the same as mutual funds, really. You can lock them in, so you can have them at retirement, or you can not lock them in and take them out whenever you want. So
Well, you got to remember you get a really good tax break when you get RRSPs. Like you get a lot of money back on your taxes. I think it's quite big. It's like 50% or something of, say you put $1,000 in, it would give you like a $500 extra
it
amount.
depends on how much you make in the year.
Yes,
And it
exactly.
does go
But
against that.
if
Yeah.
you take them out, you pay that tax. You have to pay automatically, you have to pay that tax on it.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind if you are
And when you retire, you're paying tax on it too. So
yeah,
it's just a tax break while you're working. But
yes, exactly. Yeah.
the good old government.
I know they get you coming and going for sure. Yep. They know how to do it.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
So we're just about at the top of the hour.
Yep.
I
I think
was
our
thinking
word should be investment.
that's what I had written down. So
Yeah,
perfect.
that's what I wrote down. Investment.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
hopefully that helped people out and letting you know where you can put your money if you have some extra.
You could send it to me. I'm all right with that. I tell you what, you send me your money, I'll send you my dog.
Yeah. Sounds like a fair trade.
I just think he's really cute. He just
He is cute.
talks a lot. That's all. I'm not sure what's good. He usually just lays on the couch during the show, but today he's like, I must sing my song. So I don't know if you can hear him. It's ridiculous, but
I
anyways.
just did for a second. Yep.
I don't know why he does it. It's just crazy. Even his sister on the couch. You can't see her. She's like right there, but she's black.
Oh yes, hidden.
She blends in. So,
Yes.
But she's the good dog. Anyways, I guess we should probably get going. Thank you all for tuning in. And
Yes.
I'm not sure what's going on tomorrow. I don't think
No,
we have
we don't
you
know.
might just have to have us tomorrow, which we'll make it fun for you. Don't you worry. We'll talk tonight, Lindsay, and see what we can come up with for tomorrow. We might have 2 fun days in a row.
We might, just because it's been one of those weeks.
It's been a crazy week, especially in this area. So anyways,
Yes.
Lindsay and I'll get on a Zoom later and we'll figure out what we're gonna.
Exactly. It's a surprise. Everybody likes surprises, right?
Better tune in tomorrow because you just never know what's gonna happen on the Daily Splash. So
Exactly.
okay, everybody, same time, same place tomorrow, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.